Yes! Yo, YouTube, what's up with your boy? Sports and Fitness Rants. I'm back, guys. Click that like button. Subscribe to my channel. What's up, y'all? Welcome back, guys. And welcome to another live edition. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We going live again, man. You guys know the deal, man. You guys know the deal on this channel, man. It's all about setting the record straight, stopping the lies, stopping the narratives, stopping them from rewriting history, y'all. Ooh, man, once again, man, you guys know. And I want to thank you guys, man, everyone across the world, everyone across the states, man, that's been supporting my live streams, been supporting my videos, the channel, all that stuff, y'all, for real, man. And you know what we're going to talk about in this video, man. Like I said, in this live stream, we're going to talk about LeBron James and this once again, man, why LeBron James will never get respect on this channel. I've told you guys, it's about the respect. It's about the respect. And another example why LeBron James has lost all the respect, man, and why this man is not worthy to be mentioned with the top 10 players in the history of the game. I told you guys, man, he can't remove the sword from the stone. So we're going to talk about what I saw in some of these videos. Shout out to Franchise Sports TV. I first saw it on his channel. He had posted a screenshot about this JJ Redick interaction with LeBron James. And shout out to a bunch of other people I've seen do stuff on this. I was just listening to Uncommon Sense this morning. So once again, man, we're going to talk about it in this live, man. And you guys know what to do, man. You know what to do. Turn the volume all the way up. Hit that play button. Remember, these lives, these videos are for educational purposes. And let's roll. Yes, sir. Once again. Yo, listen, man. I took the day off today. I went LeBron James and I load man's on work today, man. I had to hit him with a personal day. You know what I'm saying? If you don't use them, you lose them. So once again, I took the day off this morning. I was like, you know what? I had some work to do around the house, man. I did that work early this morning. I got done early. I was like, yo, let me do a live this morning, man. Let me hit the people with another one. We went yesterday. We're going to go again this morning. That's what we're going to do. Because like I said, when I saw that interaction between LeBron James and JJ Redick, I knew how to do it live, man. So once again, shout out to all you guys that continue to come through. Shout out to my man, DeAndre Durham, 1351. Yo, shout out to you, man. Talking about you actually made me stop cursing as much. Yo, yeah, that's funny. That means a lot for real. You guys know I try not to curse on my channel. I have slipped up. I slipped up recently on one of my videos. And you guys know that. But once again, shout out to DeAndre Durham for talking about the cursing, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I was in the Navy, man. When I was in the Navy, they talked about having like a sailor mouth, right? So a lot of people, like when I interact with them and they're like, yo, you don't drink, you know, you don't curse like that. Like it's almost like, you know, because that's nothing that you would incorporate or you would think, you know, and relate to the Navy, you know, especially back in the days, like drunken sailors, right? So shout out to my man, DeAndre Durham. Shout out to Boggs Boxster, 7651. Shout out to you, Yo YouTube. You know the deal, man. Shout out to Renee, always coming through. Dakota LaReed, always there. Shout out to you, man. Thank you very much. Callie Young, what up, man? That's right. Another live this morning. That's what we're doing. You guys know the deal, man. Yo, shout out to my man, Nate GTV 821. Armando Ruiz, what up, man? DB Assurance, shout out to you. Lomo 12, Hip Hop Fresh Forever. Thank you very much, man. Salute to you guys out there. Jig is free 122. Shout out to you. Shout out to my man, Ransom Ballard. Yo, you guys are coming through, man. Hope you guys are having a good morning or whatever the part of the day it is. It's a morning over here for me. Shout out to True Spectre, Chris G452. Shout out to Taj Raheen, Mick Zuggins, Bandhead 07. Shout out to Nemo LA, Fia ER 7 Go. Yo, shout out to all you guys. Like I said, man, I told you guys I was going to try to start doing some more lives. I told you guys I'm not able to kind of like, you know, schedule these things days in advance or give you guys like a week notice or something like that or have a scheduled, you know, this every single week, you know, kind of schedule going. But I try to give you guys at least like an hour heads up. I know that ain't much, but I try to give you guys a little heads up, man, if I'm going to drop a live. Once again, if you can't catch the live, you know, you guys can catch it, you know what I'm saying, or, you know, later on. So whatever the deal. Driving from work, shout out to Lomo 12, much respect. Callie Young, yes, sir. Shout out to all you guys. Yardman Empire, what up, man? Yes, sir. You guys know the deal, man. I want to talk about the interaction with JJ Redick and LeBron James, man. I really feel like it's, like I said, these are the examples that I'm telling you guys about. Shout out to my man, Rap God Reloaded. Coco Hope, what up? You know, I tell you guys, it's about the respect, right? a lot of times when the LeBron James fans, they come to my channel, they always try to make it about the hate, right? Whenever I've interacted with some of these other weirdos out here, right? The FYF sports clowns or these GOAT James Kingdom weirdos, right? A weirdo like Legends of Winning, right? And some of these other weirdos out here. All these guys that I've interacted with, that talk about LeBron James in a certain light. And they hold LeBron James in a certain regard. They have for LeBron James. And I laugh at these people. And I tell you, it's more about who you are. It's about those people more so than it is about LeBron James or it is about Michael Jordan. Because like I said, you gravitate towards people who are similar to you, people who have the similar views as you do. Yo, shout out to you guys. Newman 24, what up? Laney Music, what's going on? Shout out to you, 8990. Yeah, so Garya 2281. For real, guys. So when I talk about the respect and I talk about the LeBron James fans are weirdos, man, and that the fan base, they don't conduct and carry themselves like grown-ups or grown men. But I tell you, you cannot consider yourself a grown-up. And listen, if you're not a grown-up, that's fine. That's great. I wasn't a grown-up all the time either. But when you get to this level and you start to have an understanding of these things that I'm always talking and preaching about in the channel, because that's what we're going to focus on in this live more than anything. We're going to focus, like I said, yo, shout out to Vaughn NY, what up? We're going to focus on that word respect and all the other things I tell you guys about the integrity, the honor, the class. Because what I saw from LeBron James and that interaction with JJ Redick, and this ain't about JJ Redick. I'm not a JJ Redick fan. We all know JJ Redick's a straight clown. But that's LeBron James' clown. That's his boy. And he's the coach of the team at the end of the day. You guys are supposed to be professionals. So, like I said, when I see this interaction and we talk about something like respect, this is why. Another example, highlights why LeBron James gets zero respect on this channel. And I keep telling you guys, the longer LeBron James keeps playing, right, the longer he keeps doing these things. All it keeps doing is adding and validating everything that I've been saying since I've been on YouTube. I've only been on YouTube about 3 years. It'll be going on, I think, 4 years next year. And from day one, I've been talking about the respect. He's not worthy, I've been telling you guys. So that interaction last night, another perfect example, and that's what we're going to talk about. Once again, shout out to all you guys, man. Told you guys I was going to try to do more lives more often. And like I said, do them not necessarily scheduling them. Like I said, I hope I can actually schedule these things, but we're just going to do it. We're just going to come out here and set the record straight on these lives. So once again, shout out to all you guys that continue to come through, support the channel. You guys know the deal, man. You guys know what it's about. But before we really get into that interaction between JJ Redick and LeBron James and the awkwardness of it, I mean, my God, man, like you're out there on the basketball court in an arena, thousands of people there. You're one of the best players in the game. You're supposed to be the greatest player in the history of the game. Oh, LeBron James, GOAT. He's GOAT, man. He's one of them GOATs. He's one of the GOATs, LeBron James. That's how you going to show up on the court. That's what you're going to do? Man, I'm telling you. Let's talk about this commercial. Let's talk about this Nike commercial real quick. Let's think about this. Yo, Hamzas, what's up? Shout out to you. Salute, man. Thank you very much for coming through. Yo, what up, man? Yo, who did it this time? 1287. Shout out to you for coming through, man. Like I said, thank you for all the support for you guys, man. You guys always coming through. I try to hit the people that are always around with the moderation things, and I see a lot of you guys always coming back. So once again, man, that means a lot. But I wanted to touch on the commercial because some people wanted me to touch on the commercial again. And I haven't seen the commercial. I haven't seen that. I don't watch TV like that. You know, if I'm watching TV, I'm probably watching some kind of sports, a football game or whatever the case may be. Maybe I'm watching a basketball game. Maybe I'm watching an old 80s movie. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm watching an old NBA game. But I don't necessarily watch TV like that to where I can say, yeah, I haven't seen the commercial or the commercial's not on TV. I couldn't say that. But I haven't seen the commercial. Maybe you guys have. But I told you when I did the video on the commercial, and I told you my problem with the commercial is that these commercials that they put out for someone like LeBron James, the things that he's saying in the commercial, like they had the Forever King commercial, these commercials are not valid. It's like a commercial full of lies. And that's why we talked about how it was cringy as hell when they're saying all these things and he conquered all the challenges and he's the forever king. And like the commercial was just really awkward and hard to watch. Like I said, this one, when I saw it, like I said, shout out to Chase Dillard who sent me the actual commercial of the video. This is what he says in the commercial. I'll read it again. I read it in the video. If you guys didn't see the video, I'll read it right now, though. If there's one thing I learned in 23 seasons, don't be afraid of rejection. It's the greatest teacher of all time. Now, let's go back to the respect again. And let's think about this commercial right here. LeBron James, right, makes this the statement that he's making during the commercial. And I told you guys, while he's saying this in the background, LeBron James is in slow motion. There's a guy trying to make a layup, right? And you have LeBron James jump in the air. And as, he's saying this quote, he's blocking this layup in slow motion. They have that, music in the background, right? That dramatic music really, and LeBron James is talking about 23 seasons and what he learned about rejection and not to be afraid of rejection because you learn from rejection. It's a teacher, he's saying, the greatest teacher of all time. So when you have a commercial about the Forever King, when we've already called up the resume, we checked on the longevity. They didn't. We did the research. We checked on the references. They just hired LeBron James for a job, put a commercial out, wrote a script, shot the commercial, put it out, and then they're thinking, yeah, this makes sense. When you didn't do the research, you didn't check the references. So you didn't look into the longevity to see if the commercial is going to actually make sense. Because when you put a commercial out, a commercial is supposed to be promoting, I told you, promoting the guys for what they do, who they actually are. That's what makes the commercials good. When it's Air Jordan, it's because it's Air Jordan, right? We talked about this stuff. When you have the Mamba mentality, it's because when you watch Kobe Bryant play, you can clearly see that this man's on another level with his mind. Something wrong with this dude. He crazy like that. It makes sense. I told you a lot of this stuff, it applied. When you see the Kawhi Leonard sideboard, remember we talked about some of this stuff. This stuff doesn't add up. So when you talk about the Forever King and now you come out and you put a video talking about the rejection, don't fear it because you're going to learn from it. I asked LeBron James, what have you learned from the quote-unquote rejection? Because I told you, what rejection is a term or another word for is failure. Don't be afraid of failure because that's the greatest teacher of all time. That's what LeBron James is meaning to say, and that's essentially what he's saying in this commercial. But once again, if we call the people up, I don't know if they're going to pick up the phone this time. They might have my number on their caller ID. So I don't know. But I'm saying, if we call the people up, the conversation's not going to go so good, is it? It's not going to go so good, man. Because LeBron James already got back to the people that we called up and checked on. He got back to the records people, right? He's like, yo, listen, man. You guys start picking up the phone for these people that keep checking on my resume like this. My resume is what it is. Just tell them that that's the resume. That's what LeBron James did. That's what he did, right? They don't want you to look into how and why he did these things, right? Right? The whys, the hows, all the other things in the details. They don't want you looking at that stuff. So when you call and check on this stuff, they don't want you to verify it. Because we can look and check into, was LeBron James really learning from the failures and the rejections? And what did he learn from the failures and the rejections that would lead him to get the respect and earn the respect that we're talking about in this live stream right now? The respect I've always told you guys about. It's never been about hate. Never hated on LeBron James on this channel one time, man. Never once. I've never lied about this man's career. I've never fabricated a story just to make a video about it. I've done more research to verify a LeBron James claim more than any LeBron. I mean, think about the Michael Jordan people. But people, I mean, not the Michael Jordan people, but the people who put out stuff about Michael Jordan, the LeBron James people that put out the Michael Jordan stuff. Think about the stuff you guys have seen floating around TikTok and on Facebook. Think about the posts that you've seen. I mean, we're talking about blatant lies and inaccuracies, omissions. I mean, you could see it was clipped and copied and cut and pasted 4 or 5 times, and they had to cut and do and Lego it together. This is what they put out. I've never done anything like that, but they're going to label me a hater. No, I've told you. This is not about hate. That it's never been about that. It's about the facts. That's why y'all can't dispute me. People can say whatever they want. Oh, he's just yelling. You can say I'm just yelling. I'm giving the facts here. It doesn't matter if you just say I'm yelling. That's the whole point of my channel. That's what I do here. That's who I am at 4 in the morning, man. Ask my wife. This ain't an act. This ain't a show. Y'all are fake. Y'all the ones out here putting out the weird stuff, putting out the fake stuff. I've never done that. So once again, when we talk about LeBron James running from the failures, right? Running from the quote-unquote rejections, and what have you learned from these failures and rejections, right? What did you learn from these things? What did LeBron James learn from the failures and the rejections in 2008, in 2009, 2010? He learned, and what did he do? It was, I learned that it's hard to win a championship. That's what he figured out. That's what he learned. Damn, Michael Jordan got 6 of these joints? Holy hell. That is exactly what went through LeBron James' mind, guys. That man said, what the heck is going on here? I ain't just going to be able to coast in here and just do the LeBron James system and win championships? Oh, so let me start making excuses now, right? And this is when the bums come in. Oh, he's playing with bums. They won 60 games in back-to-back seasons, but he's playing with bums. So he's so great. They won all those games because of him only. Then when you get to the postseason, it's about the teammates. That doesn't make any sense. That makes no sense at all. Once again, it's about you, my man, and you not coming through and raising your level of play when it mattered most, more often than not. So once again, you saw something going on when you got in the league in 08, 09, and 2010, and you were like, damn, Michael Jordan was going against the field. Like, you forgot about that? You forgot what Michael Jordan was doing when he was going against the Pistons. You forgot you had like Mike just walked in just started winning championships. So LeBron James learned from the rejection that he's talking about in his commercial. What he learned was, I got to take a shortcut to get some championships quick because I ain't going to reach 6 like this. That's what he learned. That's what he did. And that's why he did it. Yo, shout out to all you guys out there. I think I saw you guys, someone sent a soup up in here. Shout out to DW Joseph for coming through, 59 for coming through with the super chat. Thank you very much, man. It means a lot. Like I said, you guys truly humble me. LJ is bitter right now. It's Luka's team. Team looks better when Luka's leading them. Yeah, absolutely. We're going to get into LeBron James. Like I said, some of the things that he was doing the other night that I wasn't really privy to initially. Like I said, I saw this on Franchise Sports TV, a screenshot. And then when I looked into it even further and started seeing the clips, and I was listening to Uncommon Sense this morning, and I was like, damn. Like I said, then you see LeBron James giggling and cackling on the sideline during the game when they're down like 20. Like, it's just, like I said, man, this is why I do your clown. This is why you'll never be there with the Magic Johnsons and the Larry Birds. You're never going to be there with the Bill Russells, man, the Kareem Abdul-Jabbars. You're not going to be there with the Tim Duncans and the Kobe's, the Dr. J's and the Jerry Wests. You're not going to be there with them dudes, man. There's just not a conversation with these guys because of these kinds of things. I mean, like I said, it's just a blatant disrespect to the integrity of the game. Shout out to DW Joseph. Shout out to my man, Stevie J, coming through with the super chat. Much respect. Bob Knight would have kicked him off the team. Yo, I'm telling you, it's like I said, it's crazy when we think about LeBron James and we're talking about some of this stuff that he does on the court. And like I said, like, when you're, like I said, I'm more concerned for the people that support this dude. I would love to know what the LeBron James fans are saying this morning or the other day. Like, what were they saying in that moment? Like, that would make you think that he's one of them kinds of dudes. That make you believe that he really played with that love of the game, that he really cared about the integrity of the game, that he's worth your respect, that he's worth you putting up there like that. Like, people be like, yo, this guy's a clown. He got a poster of Michael Jordan behind him. And they be knocking my Dr. J poster and stuff. And they be acting as if I should be embarrassed because in my garage walls, I have a poster of Michael Jordan on the wall. I should be ashamed and be embarrassed to put a video out to the public because of Michael Jordan as a poster on the wall. I'm supposed to be ashamed. People have said this to me. That's one of the funniest things I've heard in my life. When you're a LeBron James supporter, that doesn't make any sense. I told you guys, I would never, ever go out with LeBron James' name on my back. That's insane. Think about that. I will wear Jordan on my back. I'll wear Jordan on my feet. Y'all will wear Jordan on y'all feet. And then come out here and clown me for having a Jordan poster in my garage. This is insane, man. I grew up in the era of posters. This is the era I grew up in. I got posters still on my walls around here from the 90s. The 90s. What are you guys? You're not embarrassing me. I'm not ashamed of being a Michael Jordan supporter. Have you guys lost your minds? Look at LeBron James. Look at yourselves in the mirror. Y'all are the joke, not us. I'm good. I told you, I owe him. Do you owe LeBron James? Do you owe him? Did he show up for you guys more often than not? Did the man show up to the All-Star game last year? How many of you clowns voted for that fool for the All-Star game? The man came out there in some goofy street clothes and took pictures with everybody, looking like a straight cornball in an All-Star game. That's become a joke because of LeBron James and his weak era. This is what y'all are supporting. I'm supporting a dude that when they played the game in that era, dudes showed up to the All-Star game, man, and they balled. Them dudes can beat it. Like I said, these dudes are straight pros. I don't get this guy without that guy. But y'all gonna clown me for having a Jordan poster. Laughable. Like I said, man, I'll rock Michael Jordan jersey with pride. How much pride you got wearing James on your back? King James, LBJ King, the witness. We're the GOAT James Kingdom clowns. I told you, look at these fools. Y'all a joke, man. Y'all are the joke, not us. You guys have never had the facts, never once. And I told you, the person that you support is a dirtbag narcissist that stands on nothing and stands for nothing. That's who y'all support. I support a true bro, a grown man, a true competitor, a champion, a dude who earned it because he learned from the failures. He learned from the rejections, right? So when he kept losing, he didn't say, oh, let me go call up Ewing and Barkley. Let me go get Drexler. I'm going to go get everybody. I'm going to go get Chris Mullin. I'm going to get everybody. He didn't say that. What he learned was, yo, what I'm doing is not working. So I got to make my help me. I got to help them help me. I got to figure out, and what do I got to sacrifice? He didn't say, yo, I need a trade. I need more guys. I need another guy. I need another coach. I need to go to another team. I need another general manager. Y'all wouldn't even know who Jerry Krause was if he didn't have Michael Jordan on the team. You name me the general managers of the other great players. Name me Larry Bird's general manager right now. Name me Elgin Baylor's general manager and Jerry West's general manager when they played. Name me the general manager for Tim Duncan's teams. Name me the general manager for the 3P Lakers or the Pistons in 04. Name me the Pistons general manager. Off the top of your head, these dudes know people that you would never have the business knowing. You should never know, but you know them because of Jordan. Because they love to bring him up. Oh, Michael Jordan had the greatest general manager. A guy who drafted Brad Sellers over Karl Malone? Like, what are we doing here, man? Like, just stop. Stop. Stop it. Don't make no sense. I'm going to tell you some nonsense about Jerry Krause. We didn't even know that dude was, man. Like I said, name me the general manager for all these other teams. Name them. Name the general manager for the Hawks in the 50s. Name them. People don't know. They don't know a damn thing. They don't know nobody. They know everybody Jordan played with. Everyone he played with, all his coaches. They know everything about Phil Jackson. They know everything about Steve Kerr and John Paxson. They saved him now. That's the rewriting of history. Shout out to you guys, man. This is why you get no respect. Now, let's get into the thing with the JJ Redick stuff. Once again, shout out to all you guys who come through, comment. Like I said, you guys in the chat all the time, man. It means a lot. Shout out to Helly108. Thank you very much. Shout out to my man Ghetto C. What up? Shout out to Top Dog coming through. East B. What up, man? Robert, what up? What's up? Yo, shout out to all you guys. Like I said, man, coming through all the time, man. You guys are true supporters. Hayden Phoenix was good, man. Go Cats Hoops. Thanks for coming through. Shout out to you. You guys know my man over at Go Cats Hoops. Check them out. I mean, a lot of you guys probably already know my man over at Go Cats Hoops. Shout out to Dana Green. Thank you for coming through, as always. That's right. Rejection commercials and promotion. Nike for LeBron Reeves is doo-doo trash. That's exactly what it is. Like I said, I didn't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. Not falling for the banana tailpipe, man. That's what the LeBron James fans, man. They fell for the banana tailpipe. Down here supporting some dude with excuses and narratives and lies. Think about that. That's how you're supporting him. You're supporting him through narratives, lies, and excuses. That's the only way you can be a true LeBron James supporter. You can never come to the table with a sound argument based off of reality, based off of facts. There's no way you can do it. It doesn't stack up. I told you, he's not worthy. So, if you didn't know, like I said, shout out to everybody that's talked about this. The video that I saw was at the end of the third quarter. Maybe you guys saw a different video or a different clip. I'm not sure. But the video that I saw was, I believe, at the end of the third quarter. I think there was maybe under a minute to go, right? And it looked to me as if the Lakers were inbounding the basketball. And JJ Redick was attempting to call a play, it looked like, right? End the quarter play, trying to get a shot, right? Whatever. It looked to me from the video I saw. And Luka Doncic was there getting ready to inbound the basketball. And they were waiting because it seemed as if JJ Redick was attempting to get LeBron James' attention. And he's calling, Bron. And if I heard at least 3 times that he called this man, right? He said his name, Bron. I want to say at least 3 times I heard this in the video that I saw. And once again, when we talk about where you are, the scenario that's going on here you have now, the arena is at a certain level where you hear this clear as day in the video that I saw. I mean, you hear it clear as day, man. He's called Bron. Like, he's telling him to go to the other side of the court. He's trying to give him some kind of instruction, some direction out there, because this is what coaches do, right? I mean, it's the freaking NBA. I mean, we've all seen this. Do you not see coaches call plays and tell guys, hey, we all see this stuff, right? This is a normal thing in an NBA game. It's a normal thing in an elementary school game. It's a normal thing in any game. The coach directing the players on the court. Hey, you go over there, right? Move over this way. Hey, we're going to run it on this side. So he's calling LeBron James out there, and LeBron James is not answering, right? And why is LeBron James not answering? It's not because LeBron James is actually battling for position with somebody, or he's having some kind of, basketball-related thing going on here. What's LeBron James doing in this moment? Meanwhile, they're still trying to get the inbounds going and get this whole thing going here. LeBron James on the sidelines. He's lollygagging, talking to the other team. This is what you get from LeBron James. So what does JJ Redick have to do in this moment? The Lakers are forced to call a timeout. They actually had to call a timeout because LeBron James all of a sudden, he became hearing impaired. Selective hearing, they call it, right? He's in no man's land. He's doing what LeBron James wants to do, which is whatever I want to do. It doesn't matter that I'm in the middle of a basketball game, because we've seen this in different aspects, right? We've seen LeBron James give up on a play. I just saw the other night, right? LeBron James, the Lakers miss a shot, right? The ball comes back. LeBron James is standing there. Everyone's running this way, and they kick it out to LeBron James' guy. Easy layup. LeBron James is standing there. Like, this is a reoccurring thing. We've seen this time and time and time again over the years. Listen, this is not because he's 40. Oh, he's 40, man. He's 40. Y'all just talking, hey, because he's 40, man. What do you want from him? Nah, we've seen it since 35. We've seen it since 32. We've seen it since 31. We've seen it since 27. He's been doing this for years. This is why, right? You haven't made an all defensive team since you were 30. You're 40 now. The man's been since 29. You think it's by accident? You think it's, because they're not giving it to LeBron James. They're hating on him. No, because the man's never on the damn court over the last 8 years. And the men don't play defense like that over the last 10 seasons. And you're standing around picking and choosing your spots consistently. So this is what we see from LeBron James. And this is what we're talking about from LeBron James on the basketball court. You're standing there talking to the other team when you're down by 20 and you're laughing and carrying on. And I'm supposed to put you in a conversation with Michael Jordan? Yo, shout out to you guys. I saw a super, forgive me, I missed you guys. Shout out to Praise the Don. Once again, thank you for coming through. Like I said, you guys, man, truly humbling, man, for real. The support is crazy. He says, LeBron been giggling like a high school girl when losing since the first stint on the Cavs. What's so funny about losing? He ruined basketball. This is what I'm talking about. The shout out to Praise the Don. These are the facts out here. Like, dude, man, you talk about, like I said, respect. You talking about being mentioned with the other great players. It's about the respect. All these guys got accolades. All these guys got stats, man. I mean, they be celebrating LeBron James' mediocrity. They be just celebrating anything to celebrate him. All these guys got quote-unquote resumes. But I've told you guys time and time and time again, your resume is only as good as the verifying of it. If I can't certify it, if I can't verify it, if I can't check your references, your resume's not worth a damn. That's how the real world is supposed to work. Go try to get a job right now and make up a social security number and make up a weird resume. I mean, you might be able to get away with it if you got some skills. But once again, if you get qualified for a job that you're not actually really qualified for, then you're going to be lost. The joke's going to be on you ultimately. Yeah, you'll be at the work and they're going to be like, yo, you're going to be like Kramer from Seinfeld, man. When he's like, yo, I don't even really work here. And he said, yeah, that's what makes it even more difficult, right? He wasn't at the job eating crackers. I mean, this is what these people are. You know what I'm saying? Like, LeBron James' resume, like I said, when you check the other guys, when you verify their resumes, it's legit. It holds up. LeBron James can't hold up with theirs. That's why I say his resume is not worthy to even be in there. He's not even in the room with them dudes. He ain't in the room. Like, those guys are in the waiting room looking for the interview, for the greatest of all time, for the top 10 players in the history of the game. Right? There are guys that are waiting in that waiting room there. LeBron James is not even in the waiting room is what I'm saying. He's not worthy to be there with the other guys. They're there, but he's not. They were like, yo, you didn't get through that like, you didn't get past that checkpoint. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you talk about trying to get to a certain level, right? There's always certain levels that you have to get through. You guys remember Men in Black, right? When they said they were looking for the best of the best of the best. And he was like, the best of the best of the best. Right? You guys remember that, right? There were certain things that you had to get through. I remember when I was in the Navy, I was on the VBSS team, right? Visit, Board, Search, and Seizure. That was what it stood for. When I went to go to the school, the training, to get onto this team, there were certain stages that I had to keep passing to get to the next stage. So the first stage was, the M14 rifle, right? So you had to get past that qualification with that weapon. If you couldn't get past it, then you weren't going to the next weapon or to the next stage after that. You had to continue to progress. When you talk about LeBron James and we're talking about these people, we're not talking about a top 50, a top 75 conversation. We're talking about the top 10 greatest players in the history of the game. So even if you don't believe in the greatest player of all time, or, we can't have that because it's a team sport, okay, have that opinion. We can still talk about who you think are the top 10 greatest players that have played and represented the game. Because remember, it's about both of those things. It's about the representation also of the NBA's legacy, right? Do you want to mention and see and put this video out there and say, hey, this is the guy that we think is one of the top 10 players that ever played this sport. Look at this videotape. Look at this guy. This is embarrassing to do this. Look at how you interact with your coach. When we talk about being coachable and not being coachable, that's what this is about. Shout out to Praise It Don, man. Yo, shout out to my man KB Film Room for coming through with the super. What's funny is there is zero media criticism for it. Yo, see, man, that's a great point. That's a great point that you bring up. Let's think about this now. Once again, shout out to KB Film Room for coming through. Once again, shout out to all you guys. Kev Smith, 4320, Nemo LA. Once again, shout out to you guys. User YN. All you guys that continue to come through and support the channel. Like I said, man, you guys are for real, man. Your boss, Chief King. That's right. He keep telling us LeBron James needs more help. Exactly. We hear the same things over and over again, that LeBron James continues to need more help. You can't be that great and require the help simultaneously. It can't be both. I told you, it's the same thing they talk about with Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen can be as great as they keep trying to make him, and everyone else be as bad as they're trying to say. Oh, the 90s wasn't great. Only Scottie Pippen was really great. Scottie Pippen was amazing. Everyone else that Michael Jordan played against, those guys weren't as great as everyone tries to make you believe. That's some weird stuff. It can't be both. I told you, if Michael Jordan played against plumbers and taxi cab drivers, then he's simultaneously playing with plumbers and taxi cab drivers. All right? It can't be both. When they say, oh, they changed the rules to help Michael Jordan, they can't manipulate rules just for one player. Like, whatever they're saying helped Michael Jordan, it benefited everybody else. What they're talking about is people not getting killed, people getting flagrant fouled out there. Like, what are we talking about? I don't understand what they're saying. It doesn't make any sense. Everything, once again, Michael just held to the highest standard ever. So when we talk about the zero criticism for someone like LeBron James and the media never putting any attention on this kind of stuff, this is why we talk about the enabling behavior of LeBron James and LeBron James fans. These are the same people, the media, the fans. They continue to promote LeBron James as this great guy. Oh, LeBron James, look at his behavior. Look how he was acting. That's weird stuff. Like I said, you have no love for the game. You have no respect for the other great players that came before you. I mean, like I said, look at all the fans that were looking. Everyone was confused. Like I said, it was almost as if LeBron James was in another world, another reality. And JJ Redick was calling the wrong name out. It was like he was calling out somebody else. It was almost, like I said, like a situation where you're living a lie and you see somebody, right? And they think your name is something else. And they're calling you, and you're not even answering them, but you can clearly hear them. There's no way you can hear them because everyone else in the freaking arena, they all heard JJ Redick calling this fool, and he's over there ignoring him. And I told you, what makes this even worse is because that's your boy JJ Redick, I thought. Like, isn't that supposed to be like your coach? Like, you can't turn around and say like, oh, well, LeBron James wants this guy out of here. He's tired of this coach. They've been together for all these years, and he's tired of hearing this guy. Right? You can't use that excuse. The man just got there, and he's the guy that y'all were on the podcast last year. A couple years ago, laughing it up, living the dream. People keep talking about how JJ Redick's a savant. He knows the game, and when you get both of them together, they're both savants. The Lakers should have been out there playing checkers or chess when everyone else was playing checkers. But I told you what ended up happening was LeBron James continued to load manage, continued to not play defense, and JJ Redick kept that man out there for 30-plus minutes a night last season. And this man was out there chucking up 20 shots a game still. Weird stuff. That's not coaching. Like I said, and that's not playing with a high IQ. When you didn't want to take a backseat last season, doing weird stuff, like I said, from LeBron James, that he continues to do. Yo, shout out to my man KB Phil Room, because the media, his fans, they'll never hold him accountable. They never will. Keep promoting this fool. Come out here and do these kinds of things that you saw LeBron James doing to JJ Redick. Like I said, that was weird stuff. That was hard to watch. Yo, your guy's calling your name. They're trying to, they had to call a timeout. They had to call a timeout because of LeBron James and this man just over there laughing and giggling with the other team. Like, dude, Dylan Brooks was embarrassing you. He was shoulder shrugging on you, and you're laughing on the. Like, when I talk about not laughing with you, we're laughing at you. That was LeBron James in that moment. He thought everyone was laughing with him. You were the joke there, though. The joke's on you. Dude, the coach is calling you. That's what I would have said. I don't mean, dude, your coach calling you, clown. Like, what are you laughing about it? Y'all getting beat down by 20, and you're over here laughing like a fool. That's why you're not Michael Jordan. That's why no one looks at you like that. That's why no one fears you like that. This dude is shoulder shrugging on you, and you're laughing on the sideline, getting beat down. But I'm supposed to believe he's a competitor like that? I'm supposed to believe he loved the game. And then what will someone like Rich Paul come out and say? He'll come out and, because Rich Paul he's the guy that always come out here and try to do damage control. He's the king of excuses for LeBron James. Man, I wonder and I question if anyone has educated Rich Paul on the difference between antlers and horns and which animals have which. Something so basics. I mean, my goodness. But he'll come out and say something like, oh, LeBron James is in year 23. You know what I'm saying? LeBron James, what do you want? What do you want from him? He loved the game. He's been playing all these years. They'll say some stuff like that. They always got some excuse for LeBron James. They don't care about LeBron James being a big goof on the sideline like that when your team's getting blown out. Everyone's looking at you because the coach is calling your name, and you're over here laughing with the people who are beating you. And like I said, not only are they beating you, the other player from the team is clowning you at the same time. This dude kept doing the shoulder shrug so dramatically in LeBron James' face. It was laughable because we all know that LeBron James' shoulder shrug is one of the most corniest celebrations that I've ever seen in my life. It is so corny. And the reason why it's corny is because LeBron James is doing it. LeBron James is doing it. If I saw Shaq doing that after he just dunked on somebody, right, and just power dunk, drop stepped on them, and I saw Shaq doing something like this, I'd be like, yeah, that's Shaq. Right? When Shaq was doing that, yeah, that made sense. It was Shaq Diesel doing this to people, drop stepping them into oblivion. LeBron James will do a dunk. He'll get an N1 with some contact, and then the very next play, he'll be on the floor, rolling around when no one hit him. Shaq never did that. None of the guys that were ever doing any of this kind of flexing, they didn't turn around and then lay on the floor and just roll around. When you look on the replay, no one touched them. I told you, when guys went down back in the day, like when they fell down to the floor, guys went to the deck, it's because they were actually hit. They were actually knocked to the deck more often than not. Now, more often than not, these guys go to the deck, you look at the replay, and they tripped over the line. Like, they tripped over their shoe. That nothing happened. They just fell because they were leaning, and they were looking for contact. They were looking to flop instead of just playing the game. They're just always looking to fall. These guys play like this. It's insane. They talk about being under control when you play. A lot of times, these guys are not under control. So they're just falling down. They're sliding everywhere. Like I said, they're landing awkwardly into the stands. They're just laying there. I mean, my goodness, man. It's like I said, it's weird stuff. Guys falling everywhere. Makes no sense at all. You guys know them. These are the facts, man. Man, it's the Dylan Brooks shoulder shrug now. No one is scared of LeBron James. The Dylan Brooks shrug. That's what it is right now. Yo, shout out to you guys. I think I saw somebody. Yo, shout out to McZuggins coming through with the super flat hoopers. Yo, shout out to you, McZuggins, coming through always, man. I see another one here. Logan Messiak, Miziak. I know I just jacked your whole thing up, man. So shout out to Logan. Forgive me for coming through. I know he had 9 turnovers, but Luka was the only one trying out there. LBJ and AR were completely shook and shrank against the Suns. Embarrassing. Shout out to Logan for coming through with the super. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, listen, you guys know how I feel about Luka Doncic, man. All right, I told you guys. This is no knock on his skills, man. All right, Luka Doncic got skills. No deny to you. He shows flashes of brilliance out there. The problem for Luka Doncic, or the problem I have with Luka Doncic, I can't watch that man play because a lot of times and throughout the game, he's crying and he's just, he's not watchable. It's the only way I can say it. Like I said, I was like, you watch him, it's like, damn, there was some really nice plays, and then you're like, dude, what are you crying about? Like, no one even touched you on that play, and there he is, whining. And then I say, when you combine it with Austin Reeves and LeBron James, it becomes an ish show. That's what it is. It's a complete ish sandwich. That's what it is, man. There's no other way to slice this stuff when you get a combination of them dudes together on a basketball court, and then you sprinkle in DeAndre Ayton, you sprinkle in Marcus Smart, who's known to be a flopper out there on the basketball court. You know what I'm saying? You sprinkle in LeBron James Jr., right? I mean, and then you have a recipe, like I said, for just a disaster, man, of as far as watching the game. You can't do it. When you talk about some of these games, when they're attempting 30 or 40 threes, and then they're also attempting a 30 or 40 free throws. I told you the one game I saw, it was like the Sixers and the Hawks or something like that. It was like a game where both teams went over 130, right? It was like 140 something to like 130 something. It went like to overtime or whatever it was, right? Something like that. During that game, both teams shot over 35 free throws and shot over 40 threes. So when you talk about when you're watching a game like this, and I'm not saying that game was unwatchable. I'm just saying like you're combining some of these aspects with a team like the Lakers. It becomes insane. I mean, when Luka Doncic goes to the free throw line 13, 14 times and Austin Reeves goes to the line 9, 10, 11, 12 times a game, it becomes like, yo, you can't watch this. Come on, man. Like I said, especially when you see like AOH break the video footage down in slow motion and then you see the replay, no one touched Luka Doncic, man. He, in fact, actually was the one that was fouling people. Nothing called. Austin Reeves, same thing. It just becomes a scenario where, like I said, even though he's a great player, you're like, damn, dude, you're so great. Why are you doing this? You don't have to do this. You're great already. That's what I don't get some of these guys. Like, you don't have to do this to be great or to add to your game or to, make us think that, you're doing something different. To me, it doesn't. You don't need this stuff. It's weird. Shout out to KB Film Room for coming through again with the super. Dylan did the hump gesture as if he was effing them. No one did anything. The Lakers are soft. Yo, I mean, listen. Like I said, when you have someone like Dylan Brooks, once again, shout out to my man KB Film Room for coming through. I mean, he was, like I said, he was doing all kinds of stuff. He was embarrassing. He was clowning LeBron James. And that's what I'm saying. Then you're going to stand on the sideline and goof around with these guys. And then you have your fan base support you. Like I said, think about all these LeBron James channels, right? Like I said, think about all the name of all their channels. They're all the same. These people have no creativity, no originality. They have no personalities, right? They can't think for themselves. They don't do any research or homework. They're liars. They support a liar, a cheater, a scammer. Like I said, someone like LeBron James, who hasn't kept in line with the integrity of the game, is he honorable? What he was doing to JJ Redick, was that a classy move from LeBron James? Like I said, when you look at all the faces of all the people in the crowd right there that are looking back and forth, like, how does this dude not hear you? That everyone was confused. It was a weird scenario. That's what I'm saying. Like, I look at his fans and I say, look at you guys. This is why we have a playlist called LeBron James Fans Say Weird Things, because only a fan base like LeBron James, the only way that they can support LeBron James, that you could get behind LeBron James, is, like I said, by being weird, by saying weird things that don't add up. Being weird is not necessarily a bad thing, all right? When you think about the term or the word weird, it could mean a myriad of different things, right? It describes a wide variety of people and things. There are people that, great artists sometimes or great musicians have been known for being quote unquote weird, right? They've been known to being unique, right? Eclectic, these kinds of people known for being quote unquote different than other people. So being weird is not necessarily a bad thing. But when we use it in the context, or when I'm using in the context that I'm using it to describe the fan base of LeBron James, and I'm saying that you guys are weird, is because what you guys do and the things that you guys say don't make any sense. Because like I said, you're supporting someone who's a liar, who lies to you, who's a cheater. We've seen it. He's cheating the game out here, right? Someone who doesn't stand on the values and the principles that a grown-up should stand on. This is my opinion here. When I talk about the honor, the class, the integrity, and earning respect. Remember, I always say, guys, earning respect. I don't just say respect. I say earning respect from the people around you. From the people around you, the everyday people that you interact with in your everyday life, in your society, in your community. Earning the respect of those people. The garbage man, the postman, the teachers of your kid's school, right? The principals maybe, the co-workers that you have. The people that you see every day in your local food store, all the people that you come in contact with regularly in your society, where you are, your community. Those are the people you're earning the respect from, because people know who you are when you live in a community, ladies and gentlemen. I can only speak from that kind of aspect and that reality here. So these people that you see every single day, right? The people you're interacting with all the time, you should be carrying yourself in a certain way and earning the respect from these people because you carry yourself this way. Whether or not they carry themselves that way is nothing. It doesn't matter. There's nothing to do with you. Nothing to do with you. Has nothing to do with me. Has nothing to do with me. But I'm not going to support and make excuses for someone else when I wouldn't make excuses for myself. That's what we call being an adult. That's what you call growing up. So when I say on this channel, people who are LeBron James supporters are not truly grown. There are no adults and grown men that support him because LeBron James is a soft, feminine fool, right? Above some of these other things that we've talked about, or added also to these things that we've talked about. So, like the title of the live says, when you talk about it, is another example why LeBron James gets zero respect. That's why when you come on the microphone in 2020 and you win that bubble ring, and LeBron James says, I want my damn respect too. Why would he say this if he was really getting the respect? Why would he say that if he felt like he was, right? His fan base tells you they respect LeBron James. They love LeBron James. So LeBron James fans are good for LeBron James? He's not getting enough love and respect from the media, from his fan base? No, he's asking for respect. Why? From who? From us. People like me, people like you guys, the true basketball fans. Those are the people that don't respect him. He knows that, and that's who he's asking the respect for. So he didn't take that moment to shout out Kobe Bryant and make it about Kobe. He had to make it about his respect. He had to throw himself in there. He had to do this. Once again, not understanding and realizing that you earn the respect of the people around you. You earn the respect that way because of how you carry yourself. If you're the kind of person that, like I told you, I say it's the same example on my fitness channel, right? On my fitness side, I say the same thing, right? I use the same example because it's to me, one of the simplest and to me, one of the most mundane and, like I said, just something that you don't even think about. When I talk about people not putting their shopping carts back where they belong in the parking lots, right? You guys have been there. I'm only speaking for America, man, all right? You go to a parking lot out here, man, you go food shopping, you come out, man, there's parking carts every damn place. People leaving carts everywhere. Carts leaning up against people's cars, carts over there in the grass, right? People do everything in their power to stop not walking 20, 30 freaking steps, right? So once again, these simple little mundane things, these simple little things we do will make me not respect you. I'll lose respect for you. If I see you in the parking lot, take your car and push it up against someone's car or behind someone's car or over here in between the cars because you don't want to walk it back 20 feet. I look at you and once again, I lose respect for someone like that. I don't even know you. And I've lost respect for you because you're once again contributing to the problem in society. Something that minor. People don't realize and look at these things. You're part of the problem with society. You're being lazy, man. So we talk about all these everyday things. If you're the kind of person that litters, I can't stand people that litter. I can't stand that. I don't like people that litter, man. I hate when I see people litter. It's weird to me. Like I said, you'll have people, you'll see them go to throw something in the trash. They'll miss the trash, keep on walking. It don't matter to them. Nah. I remember, listen, I can only give you guys what I'm talking about, how I view this stuff. Maybe you think that I'm a fool. Maybe you think that, oh, yeah, he's talking about littering. Maybe it's not a big deal to you. Maybe I'm the one that's crazy here. But I'm just giving you the facts here, guys. This is what I'm talking about with people out in society. It's on us, right? When we talk about the people like LeBron James, Think about how he's done. Look what he's done to the NBA. It's because he hasn't carried himself this way. All this stuff, guys, goes hand in hand. People will turn around and be like, yo, LeBron James, you guys are talking about stuff that got nothing to do with the court, the on-court stuff. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Because you have no honor, because you have no class, because you have no integrity, because you didn't earn the respect, all of those things went to why you never worked on your game like that. So once again, why you never sacrificed for your teammates so you could win more. It all goes back to not being coachable, to the example we saw with JJ Redick. So when I talk to you guys about something as simple as littering, and people might scoff at that notion and not think it's a big deal, and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, whatever. You're just some guy. Once again, I'm telling you that because I wouldn't do that. When Michael Jordan says, my teammates can say whatever they want, people can say, yeah, he was this, he was that. But I never made them or asked them to do something that I wasn't willing to do. I'm doing it. So I'm not going to litter. I won't do that. I won't let my kids do that kind of stuff. That's not how my family's going to go about our business. We're not going to be those people that leave a mess when we go out at a table and we're going to leave our stuff out there and think, oh yeah, that's why the custodians are here. There are people that think this way. You're the problem with society. If I saw your family out and my family was out in a food court in the mall, let's say, and I saw you get up and your family left a mess at the table, I'm not going to approach you. I'm not going to say something to you. You could be crazy for all I know. But I lose respect for you when I see that. I look at that family and I'll tell my kids, you see that mess that family left? We are not going to leave a mess like that. The people that are here that get paid money, little bit of money to do this job, that's not why they're here. They're not here for that. They're here for people making a mess sometimes. When people make a mess, people don't leave messes. So I remember one time I was at the beach. I go to the beach every year, guys. I love the beach. I say it again. I love the beach, man. The beach is like a favorite place for me and my family. I tell you guys every year, you guys seen the videos. I post them every year. Me and my family down the beach. I remember one year down the beach, and I'm one of these guys where I get to the beach early, man. I want a good spot in the front. Like I said, so my kids could go do their thing, man. I've been going out there since my kids were little, man. I want to be able to watch my kids run out in the water and stuff, man. I don't want nobody sitting in front of me. I don't want nobody in front of me. So I'm in the front. I get to the beach early, man. I'm at the beach 8 in the morning, y'all. I ain't playing no games. 8 in the morning, yo. Sports and Fitness Rants on the beach with his family, man. We making sandcastles. Y'all seen the setup. I posted videos. So I remember one year, about, I don't know, 1 o'clock. Group of old people came down, right? And when I say old people, they were older than me, in 60s. Let's go, they were in their 60s. So usually me and my family, we're usually down there 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. We stay till about 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and we go back. So these people came down at 1 o'clock. The nerve of you to go and do what? They sat right in front of me and my family, man. They sat right in front of my setup. Y'all see my setup. I'm official. People come and take pictures of my family setup every single year. Every year, guys, I've been going down there for over 20 years, my family. All right? So anyway, these people come up and sit right in front of me. So that wasn't bad enough, or not. It gets worse. They proceed to start smoking cigarettes right in front of us now. So now I'm dealing on a beach. We all know that it gets breezy on the beach. And I'm dealing with their secondhand cigarette smoke blowing into our face. This is what I'm dealing with now. Now, my mother's there. My brothers are there. My sister-in-laws are there. My cousins are there. We got a big crowd here. And they know how I get. And my wife sees my face. And I stand up. And she goes, what are you doing? And I said, I'm going over and saying something to these people. And she says, why? And I says, because I'm not smelling this and I'm not dealing with this right now. I'm not dealing with it. And she says, well, we're going to be leaving soon. Don't make a scene. I started laughing. And I said, listen, you know what, babe? You're right. I'm not going to say anything. So I go in the water, right? My son's like, hey, Dad, let's go in the water. So I have to walk past these people now, right, to go into the water. So as I'm walking past them, I know I'm rambling on. Guys, forgive me for telling my stories, man. Please forgive me for telling my stories, man. It's almost done. So as we're walking by these people, it was 2 women and 2 men. Right? Like I said, older people, like I said, maybe like in their early 60s, I want to say. As I'm walking by them, what I noticed that they were doing was obviously they were smoking cigarettes. Okay, you're not supposed to be smoking cigarettes on the beach. That's number one. But not only were they selling or smoking cigarettes, they were putting them out in the sand and leaving all of the butts in the sand. So what was going on? The water's coming up, right? The cigarettes are going to get washed into the ocean. The ocean got enough damn problems as it is, man. The ocean is jacked the hell up. People don't care. Yo, it's jacked up, man. It's jacked. So I see this. And that was it. That was it. That was it. I had to say something. That was the last straw. I would not let that stand. That was it. Damn my wife in that moment. Damn my mother and everybody else. So I stopped right there. I turned around and I looked the dude. I looked the man. I looked him dead in his eye. And I said, yo, if y'all don't pick them cigarette butts up, I'm going to make you put them cigarette butts up. I swear to God, y'all, I said to this man, I lost it, y'all. I lost it, man. I lost it. All right? And he looked at me in my face and he looked at that woman because she was the one doing it. She was the one putting them out in the sand right there next to her chair. But I looked at him. I'm not going to look at some damn woman. I'm not LeBron James. I looked at that fool. And I said that to him. And I was going, and I meant it. I was going to pick them cigarette butts up and throw them at him. That's what I was going to do. I wasn't going to try to hit nobody. If he wanted to give and do something, it would have been whatever, man. Like I said, he was an older guy. I wasn't trying to hit some older dude, man. But if you, once again, what do I tell you guys? What do I tell you? If you're going to act and do something out in society, you're going to say something to somebody, you're going to act a certain way, you're going to break some rules out here, then you have to be prepared for whatever comes your way. And guess what? I came your way that day, that dude. I came to him. That was the repercussions of his actions and her actions. So when I brought it to them like that, my wife immediately got up and she came over to me and she got in between me and the people. And when that dude stood up, I said to him, I said, listen to me, man. I was like, you guys came and sat right in front of my family. I mean, y'all started smoking cigarettes and you blew the smoke right in our face. We've been sitting here for about an hour listening to this, dealing with this. I was like, and now you're going to leave them cigarettes in the sand? I was like, you're not. I was like, you're not. I'm like, someone's picking them up. Someone is. I was like, if you're not, I said again, I'm going to make someone pick these up. It's not staying here. That's it. And they picked them joints up. And you know what they did? They left. They didn't walk their ass down the beach. I created a scene. I did. My wife, we laugh about that to this day. They call me the beach Nazi out there sometimes. Not a good term to use, right? We talk about the soup Nazi from Seinfeld, right? That's how they refer to me on the beach because they say that I enforce etiquette, beach etiquette. There's a beach etiquette, and you will abide by the beach etiquette around me and my family, damn it. I'm not coming to the beach at 8 in the morning, and you're going to sit in front of my family like that. It's not happening, man. It's not going down. That's why I'm down there that early. So damn you. Anybody that come down there, I'm going to bring it to anyone. They know how I roll. Don't be coming up in my area like that. That's about respect, man. That's respect, y'all. That's what I'm talking about. I'm going to, you know what's crazy? I'm going to tell you guys, man, yo, when we talk about the people and the people around you, when I tell you guys about it, the people that you're always coming in contact with, I just told you guys a story. And I'm sorry that I rambled on, but I told you guys a story. And when I tell you guys, I've been going to the same place. I'm a routine guy. My wife knows this. My family, we've been going to the same beach, the same place for over 20 years. So when I talk about earning the respect of the people around you, every year I go down to that beach, y'all, I see the same families and they come over, we interact. I remember one year, a guy came up to me and he was like, yo, man, every year you and your family is out here early and you got the whole setup, man, and blah, blah, blah. And he goes, if you don't mind, do you mind if me and my family set up next to you guys? Because I like how you guys, do your thing here. He respected me. He respected my family and what we were doing, how we carried ourselves, how we conducted our business on the beach. So people might think about something like this and think, oh, that's such a minor aspect in your life, going on vacation every year. But I'm telling you, the way that you carry yourself every day has nothing to do with other people. It's about who you are. So you're going to conduct yourself a certain way. So in turn, I told you what, people are always watching you when you don't think they are. That's how you inspire other people. You're not always inspiring people because you're doing a YouTube video or you're standing on a platform with a microphone, right? Or you're somebody with some stature. The things that you do every day, right? The consistency of you, right? What you do, the values you hold yourself to. If you're always someone that comes to work on time, if you're someone that can be relied on, they know you're going to show up. That's how you earn the respect. If I remember in the military, there was a huge sign and show of respect. If your uniform was always clean, like your uniform was always crisp. That's what we used to always say. Yo, you crisp. You had the lines. Anyone that was in the military know. You had the lines, man, the creases. You had your boots would shine. Yo, there was a certain level of respect that you got just off of your uniform being crisp. Just your uniform being like that. People looked at you like, yo, this dude is, crisp. You didn't have to know a damn thing about your profession. You could have been one of the dumbest guys in your division. But damn it, your uniform was on point. I remember one day, I came to lineup, right? I came to quarters. And you're there in the morning, everybody's there, man. They go over the word, whatever, right? And all of a sudden, the chief says, yo, we're going to do an inspection, a uniform inspection. And he says, whoever has the best uniform gets the day off. Gets the day off. Anyone that been in the military know, you get the freaking day off, man. Whoa, that's a huge deal, man. Because you working all damn day long in the military, man. There's no clocking in and clocking out. You work until the work is done. That's when you finish in the military. So anyway, they did a pop inspection on us. And guess who won the inspection, guys? Uno Nuno did. That's right. And I got the day off. I was chilling in my rack. Yo, dudes was working. It was hot as hell that day. But I was off. Shout out to all the gunners mates out there. That was down in Wildwood, East Beach. Shout out to all you guys, man. I am going crazy, man. Yo, these stories, I have gone completely off the rails. Shout out to Quietly. Yo, shout out to the Black Mamba 2433. Shout out to you. Oh, man. Oh, goodness gracious, man. Oh, guys, man. You guys said, man, you guys give me the energy. But these are the things we're talking about, guys. I don't know if you guys if anyone sent a super. I hope I didn't miss it. Yeah, I think I got all you guys super on the supers, man. So as you guys can see, I hope I'm giving you guys some examples here. Of something like respect, guys, and how you earn it. And what it does when you do earn it. What it does for you. And like I said, what it does for the people around you. Because like I said, it's everything. It's a bunch of different things here. And when you see LeBron James act that way with JJ Redick, when you're supposed to be a professional, when you're in the middle of a game, and he's calling your name, and like I said, you're over there lollygagging. I mean, but he's the greatest player of all time. I'm supposed to compare him to those guys. Nope. It's not going to happen, guys. Not going to happen, man. That's the facts there. It's not going to happen. I just can't do it. That's why I say LeBron James will never be in my top 10. Never be there. It's not with all year. Nah, man, never going to be in my top 10. And I told you guys, let LeBron James keep playing. This is fantastic. Look at what we get. This is what we get from LeBron James. The longer he plays, we keep getting these kinds of scenarios. This is the video footage that LeBron James is putting out there for us to talk about. I didn't make LeBron James do this. I'm not being a hater here. I'm not lying. You guys are weirdos for liking LeBron James. All you weird LeBron James fans out there, you guys are weird for that stuff, man. Not me. Like I said, I'm not weird for liking Michael Jordan or supporting Michael Jordan. like I said, and talking about Michael Jordan the way that I do, because I'm giving you the fact. I'm not lying about him to make him be great. I'm not saying, yeah, Michael Jordan. I'm not making up all these scenarios. I'm not lying about his career to try to like embellish it and make it greater than it was. I'm reporting on what actually happened. That's what I'm saying, the record straight here. They're trying to rewrite the history. I told you, nobody even talks about Michael Jordan's three-peats anymore. They try to just talk about they just try to say Michael Jordan got 6 championships. No, he's got 2 three-peats, you fools. 2, not 1, 2. 2 three-peats. But now all of a sudden, they want to just stop even talking about three-peats anymore. Right? Now they want to excuse Michael Jordan's 6-0 record as just, he didn't play against anybody. It was Scottie Pippen, actually, that was doing all the work. All Michael Jordan had to do was score. All he had to do was score. That lets me know a lot. Whenever you hear someone say something like that, that lets me know a hell of a lot. When you say all Michael Jordan had to do was score. That's insane, guys. That's laughable. I mean, like I said, just think about the optics, again, of LeBron James last night in that moment. Like I said, when all the people in the crowd are there staring at LeBron James, looking at JJ Redick. JJ Redick is looking at LeBron James, and then he's shaking his head like this because he had to call a timeout. He had to actually call a timeout. I mean, even Luka Doncic was like completely confused and completely frustrated, shaking his head. No one, and there, like I said, it was the middle of the play, guys. It's the middle of the game. Middle of the game. Middle of the game. And there's LeBron James talking and laughing with the team that is beating him down and the team that's laughing. I mean, like I said, Dylan Brooks was clowning this dude during the game. And you're laughing with those guys on the side? Like I said, shout out to everybody that's been posting this and talking about this. I told you guys, I was listening to Uncommon Sense this morning. And he was talking about how, once again, he was saying similar things about the LeBron James fan base, but he was also talking about how this is when, and gives you another example of how LeBron James proves that he does not love the game of basketball and does not care about the game of basketball. He doesn't care. I told you, listen, man, I get it, right? But we have to also be honest, though. Some of these guys, they don't really love the game like that. It doesn't matter to them. Like, LeBron James doesn't really care about what's happened to the game. Like, he just doesn't care. You know, so like when you see these kinds of scenarios time after time after time after time again, I mean, like I said, when you see LeBron James walk off the court early and then he comes on the Mind the Game podcast and tells us he's walking off early because he has to go and get some treatment. Like, dude, you sound ridiculous. That doesn't even make any sense, man. You're the only player in NBA's history has to walk off the court early with minutes to go sometimes, right, to get treatment. No one else needs treatment, just LeBron James, man. So you need all this treatment to not play 82 games. Weird stuff from LeBron James, but that's what he tells us. Steve Nash asked him if he took creatine. You guys remember this? Oh, you don't take creatine? He said, creatine? No, natural vitamins and smoothies. He scoffed at the notion of taking creatine, a natural supplement that's easily bought over the counter. It's been around since I was in high school. Creatine. Your body makes creatine. You can get it through eating things. That he scoffs at. Taking creatine, he scoffs at. Something that millions of people take. Like I told you, there were people taking when I was in high school creatine. It's been tried. It's been tested time and time and time again, creatine. All right? And LeBron James scoffs at taking creatine. He says, no, natural vitamins and smoothies. That doesn't, just think about that statement. That I know about health and nutrition, guys. That doesn't even make any sense. That doesn't make, I told you, I can tell you, is LeBron James taking a Centrum Silver? Like, is he taking one of those Scooby-Doo Flintstone vitamins? Like, are you taking one of those gummy ones? Like, when you say natural vitamins, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life, man. And when you say smoothies, come on, man. Smoothies? What does that mean? Smoothies with creatine in it? It's nonsense stuff. That's what I'm saying. Like, when you listen to him speak, how do I supposed to respect that? How am I supposed to respect you? And his fan base out here. So that's a lot of simple comments Uncommon Sense was talking about is that LeBron James, they said, don't love that game like that, man. He does not. That's right. That's right. Once again, vitamins come from what we eat. But LeBron James telling you, yeah, he get natural vitamins. Right? Natural vitamins. Make weird statements, guys, man. I tell you, don't make no sense, man. It's like, come on, man. I hear scoffing at creatine. I'd be like, yeah, I take creatine, man. You know, I take, like, dude, just keep it real, man. Keep it real. It's crazy, man. You need a shout out to Callie Young, man. You need a segment called Story Time with Robin. Yo, shout out to you guys, man. You know, it's crazy. Like, sometimes when I'm talking, I'm saying something, the way that my mind works, I mean, as you guys can probably see, is that I'm scatterbrained sometimes, man. And sometimes I'm thinking about like 10 different things while I'm trying to talk and say one thing. And then sometimes I'm saying something and a story comes into my mind, or I want to tell you guys a story so that I can give you a personal, like almost like to show you why, like it matters to me, like what I'm trying to say, like for me personally. That's why I was trying to tell you some of these guys, some of these stories right now before, you know, when it comes to like how I look and view, you know, how I carry myself, you know, how I want people to view me. You know, like I told you, how I want to, my kids, you know, we talk about the legacy, right? Like it matters to me how my kids, like how people view me around my kids, right? Like, you know, you want to see your kids, like you want your kids to see you treat people with a certain level of respect and dignity. Like you want them to see that. Like I told you, it's everyday simple things. Like the way you interact with somebody at a diner, let's say, for example, like I said, you think about like a waitress or your server or somebody like that, and how you act, the way you speak to them. Your children see these little things. So to me, you know, and like I said, I'm very fortunate because my parents, obviously, they were of that ilk also. I learned a lot from them, but also from the military. It taught me a lot about myself that I didn't know was inside of me. So when I talk about these little simple things, like I said, the way you interact with the everyday people, no one's beneath me. Like sometimes I tell you guys, someone like JJ Redick, LeBron James, these people, we're beneath them. Like, yeah, I'm not on LeBron James level, like, you know, status, right? I'm not on his status. I don't have his money, his fame. Yeah, I'm not oblivious to this. But LeBron James is not above me. That doesn't make him better than me as a person, because ultimately, I carry myself to a higher standard than I've seen LeBron James carry himself. So when we talk about some of these people, they believe, and the way that they interact and talk to people. One of the first things I noticed about JJ Redick when he came to ESPN, guys, some years back, when he first became like an analyst, is how he was very condescending in his tone. The way that he would speak to Stephen A. Smith or Mad Dog often, he would speak to them in a condescending manner. That's the exact reason why Bob Cousy came out, because of the manner in which he was speaking about those guys, the condescending tone he used to describe them as plumbers, firemen, and think about, like we said, degrading these professions. So now young kids associate a plumber or a fireman or a taxi cab driver, right? You know, a custodian, like they associate these jobs with lesser people. You're lesser than because you work that job. That's crazy. So like I said, I work in a school. I worked in an elementary school for years. There's a custodian there. There was one custodian running this huge freaking building. That's not an easy job, man. That's not an easy. This man had to deal with everything. Every little complaint from these teachers, these women, man would complain. Dude, I was helping him do so much stuff in there. He's one man. One man. This dude, I showed like, I didn't look down on him. I always used to laugh. I'm like, if anything, he was above me, man, in the hierarchy in that place. That building ain't running without that dude. That place would fall apart without that man. So when we talk about thinking about these everyday people that work these jobs, these people earn the respect. He was a good man. And he did a great job. He was an excellent worker, a great employee. So he earned the respect, right? That's how it is. And in turn, he respected me because I carried myself a certain way, which made us have an understanding. This is what I'm talking about, guys. Can't get behind LeBron James. Get the hell out of here. Weird stuff out here. You know what I'm saying? You guys hear me? Check, check. I don't know if you guys, did I lose you guys? You guys can hear me? I thought I lost you guys for a second there. Once again, shout out to you guys, man. I'm going to end this live stream. Yo, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Once again, yeah, Mingle, yo, shout out to my man, Mingle Jester 2278. Rest in peace to Eldon Campbell. You guys that saw, I shouted him out this morning, man. I didn't even know about that. I think that happened like yesterday, I think. Like I said, he was another player from the 90s. So shout out to him, man. Rest in peace to him. Shout out to his family, all the people out there, man, that that know him personally, man. And all you guys that remember him from the 90s, man. But yeah, you guys, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Thanks to everyone that came through the live today. Like I said, man, it was truly humbling. You guys continue to come through and support the live stream, support the channels. I told you guys I'm going to try to continue to do these live streams a little more often. I don't know if I can give you guys like a set schedule, right? But just keep a lookout. I'm always trying to give you guys a little bit of a heads up. So like I said, man, it means a lot, guys. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. You guys know the deal, man. I'll catch you guys on the next one.